Last week, we talked about the invisible weight that leaders are carrying around with AI. This week, we're going to go one level deeper because most leaders aren't actually behind, they're not incapable, they're uncertain, and they're mislabeling that. Welcome to episode 120 of Instant Expertise Marketing. I'm Yvette Brown, co founder of X Promos. I became an entrepreneur at 23 when I started a promotions agency with my then 29-year-old business partner, Shari Nomady. Together, we have built campaigns for global brands, and today we're building decision confidence in the age of AI by keeping humans accountable, technology understandable, and outcomes measurable. What we keep hearing from leaders today sounds like this. We're exploring, we're testing, we're learning. But when you listen closely, that language isn't about curiosity, it's about calibration.
And I'm Shari Nomady. And for over 3 decades now,
We're
Yvette
pushing
and
four,
I,
Shari, let's face it.
Yvette and I have always approached problems from very different vantage points, but nearly always coming to the same conclusions on how to move forward, and even still today in the AI era. But here's the shift we're seeing today. Uncertainty isn't coming from lack of knowledge. It comes from not knowing if your thinking would hold up under the challenge. And that's different. You can attend every AI conference. You can read every research report. You can demo every platform, and you're still going to feel unsettled because what you haven't done is stress test your assumptions.
And part of what's driving this uncertainty is structural. AI is moving faster than traditional business rhythms were built to handle. I mean, think about annual planning cycles, quarterly strategy decks, conference driven learning cadences. Those models assumed relative stability between decisions. And we're here to tell you AI doesn't give you that, as you guys probably already know. Planning cycles are misaligned with the AI cadence. A decision that you made in Q1 can feel outdated in Q2. And this creates a very specific kind of leadership strain.
And here's the deeper friction. Most leaders still have to operate inside those traditional systems. They have budget cycles, board approvals, quarterly and annual targets, but AI capability is evolving continuously. So now you're making decisions inside structures that move slower than the environment. And that gap creates this uncertainty, not because you're behind, but because the operating rhythm is no longer matching the velocity of change.
Yeah, confidence feels different when it's been examined. And this untested certainty feels strong, right? You're feeling good about it until it's questioned publicly. And that's why some leaders sound confident internally, but they hesitate before making commitments visible. Our research actually surfaced a huge gap between what leaders are saying, for instance, on LinkedIn, and what is the reality inside their organization. We're calling that challenge the uncalibrated judgment.
And this is where the mistake happens. Leaders think the solution is, I need to know more. But the real question is, has my thinking been tested? Have your vendor decisions been challenged? Have you heard counter arguments before the board does? Have you pressure tested the implications before your team reacts?
And most executives today, they lack that structural scrutiny. And scrutiny builds something different than information does. Scrutiny builds clarity. It's not performative clarity. It's not even that loud confidence. It's tested clarity inside volatility. And that, my friends, is decision confidence.
And here's the uncomfortable truth. Untested certainty, it's expensive because when your thinking hasn't been examined early, it gets examined later in public, by clients, by competitors, even by your own team. And that examination, it's rarely generous.
Yeah, good point. And what's interesting is that we didn't really arrive at this aha moment intellectually. Over the last 3 years, we have formed several small peer groups and around these emerging AI shifts. It's usually 5 to 8 leaders. There's no performance, there's no panel, nobody even has a title that they bring to this. We don't usually have a slide deck unless we're sharing something. It's just kind of working dialogue. And I got to tell you, every single time, those are the conversations that accelerate clarity. We saw decisions move faster. We saw positioning sharpen. And we saw revenue opportunities surface much earlier. And this wasn't because someone had more information, it's because those assumptions were challenged early. That's what we mean by calibration. And it's why those small group weekly sessions are our most precious, unmovable meetings every single week. That feeling, that decision confidence is part of what inspired us to build this out more formally.
Because in volatile environments, isolation amplifies doubt.
So true.
And fragmented internal conversations don't resolve it. Calibration requires friction, the right kind, of course, the kind that happens before visibility forces a reaction.
Yeah, you don't feel behind, you feel uncertain. And certainly, uncertainty is not a weakness, it's kind of a signal. It's a signal of untested clarity in a super fast moving, chaotic environment.
If AI decisions feel outdated as soon as you make them, you're feeling the impact of velocity. And the leaders who adapt aren't the ones who consumed more content,
No.
but they're the ones who built tighter feedback loops.
So if you're feeling unsettled, let's just label it correctly. It's not that you're behind, it's that you're in the traditional rhythm of decision making and that no longer matches the speed of change. Your calibration has to happen faster, it's got to happen more frequently and in real dialogue. And that's how you build decision confidence in the age of AI.
And that kind of confidence doesn't come from annual events, it comes from ongoing structured challenges.
So if this resonates with you, the question isn't whether you need more AI information, it's whether your thinking has been tested before it becomes visible.
So if you're ready to join a room to pressure test your volatile AI decisions with peers before they become visible, request a guest pass to the arena. Details are in the show notes. We look forward to seeing you, and thanks for listening.